film directors used to come from all the countries in the world and make movies, commercial movies in Beirut, in which you see how Beirut was, and it was full of life and full of beauty. The diversity was beautiful.
The vision for this city center was, we're going to create the finest city center, which was the motto at the time. That the vision was to bring back Beirut from the ashes, the way it has fallen and risen across time. Definitely the vision for Solidaire was to make this to bring it back, to bring back the socio-political economic importance to the city center.
The personal side is that, of course, I am still furious that the rich guy suddenly decides to put you out and build something that he wants, that he likes, and which I dislike, all those huge buildings. That's a matter of taste. This is the personal side of it. Now it's dead, it's empty.
I think today to say it's a ghost town is not correct. And on the weekends, depending on where you go, it's not empty. For me, this is like my school, right? So I don't like to come to school on the weekend. But if I go on the Corniche on the weekends, it's packed. And if I go to Place de l'Étoile, my friends who have children, it's packed with their kids on tricycles and so forth. Is Martyrs Square empty? Yes, because Martyrs Square is not developed and it is very difficult transportation-wise.
The big place which we call the Martyrs place, Martyrs. They tried to change the names of plenty of historical and symbolic places in Beirut.
Martyrs Square is almost east of the whole thing. It might be even the periphery of the entire thing.
But we still call it the Martyrs place. It's a huge place compared to Beirut, on the scale of Beirut. And you go there, you don't see people sitting, people smoking the water pipe, you don't see people painting, you don't see people selling their goods, you don't see anything. This must come back again, you see? It mustn't stay exclusive for the rich people.
So it is definitely has become more of a city center from a economic and sort of employment perspective. So to me, no, it's not empty.
And you had artists painting the view. You had the guy who picked every morning his oranges and lemons and came from South Lebanon. You had tourists, you had Lebanese people from all the different strata, class of society in all the country.
I mean, you can't recreate the past. No, I would not want that.
No.
And frankly, I find it austere, this need to impose the past. Yes, it was something in the 50s. It was something in the 70s. It was something really scary in the 80s. And it was something even more scary in the early 90s, weeding, bombs, mines, etc., etc. So I think there's also an amnesia of that period of 75 to 91.
It was a wonderful mixture. Really, the picture of Lebanon.
15 years of civil war in the city center. That's many years of demolishing in the mind of somebody.
I think the aim was, and is still everywhere, to kill the Lebanese identity and the Lebanese memory. To control a city and a country, you kill its memory and identity. And you ruin people. People, when they are ruined, it's very difficult to struggle, you see. There is no identity at all, no soul anymore in Beirut.
There is no one Beirut. Beirut was always several things.
Hariri, I say Hariri and his view and his group didn't want a place in Lebanon this place in Lebanon to be the point of everybody meeting, because when you have all ordinary people meeting in a place, you cannot build very expensive buildings and sell them to the rich people of the whole world. It's like a rich ghetto, you see.
Was it also a little bit
And
like
that killed the Lebanese society.
What do you do if the public wants this kind of apartment? In the end, I've worked hard for my money. I want to buy my dream house, and this is the kind of apartment I want. Definitely there are issues of price of real estate. And so this is part of the dynamics of a city, which the city has changed, has evolved. It has impacted other real estate prices all around. I think it is a symptom of urban growth and development.
Identity for me in a city is where all the different classes of society can meet. For an identity, you need historical and patrimonial places and symbols. They don't exist.
As I grew up, I never came downtown. From 80 to 86, this was no man's land. When we would cross to go to Damascus, it was like, whoa, we're going through the Swiss cheese town, you know, and we would never really look. We were scared. I remember ducking in the car to look out. It was really, my memory of it was a sort of uninhabited ghost town.
No. Till the old owners can return to Beirut and work and exchange, and there won't be an identity center to Beirut.
The souks that people talk about had been destroyed. You had them replaced with souks of squatters. You had squatters too. You had a very different circumstance. You had 70,000 tenants, of which more than 50% had left the country. So you had a particular circumstance under which you could reconstruct.
So don't believe anything of the wrong excuses they say. It's not rebuildable. Wrong. People don't want to come back. Wrong. Too many tenants in one building, they will never agree. Wrong.
Our city, our municipality of Beirut, is not involved in these decisions, is not taking a role. So you had to create a private entity, unfortunately, because your public institutions are dysfunctional. And so you finally have somebody who's taking a role, and the attack is on them.
When they give the old right owners the possibility to return, then it won't just be hotels and luxurious shops and luxurious, very, very expensive restaurants. People of all categories will come and open their places and shops and food places. That's how I say it will never be like it was, but there must be a kind of balance.
It takes time for people to reappropriate.
You're asking me if I hope that it could change, and it will never be like it was, but we don't want to leave it the way it is, a neoliberal city. Absolutely not.
I think today there's still a lot of work to be done. You see almost 50% of the project complete, but you still have 50%. And it also depends on how you fill in the blanks.